Welcome back to the channel, it's Andy. We're back with FM23 and the IFK Goteborg save. Champions of Sweden, IFK Goteborg, but there is no rest for the champions. We're back today with the Europa Conference League. Our league campaign continues and we're going to wrap up the league phase today with our last three games. First up, it's Frankfurt away from home, and then we face Rijeka and Maccabi Tel Aviv at home. We have played the Scandinavia game off camera, so three games to get through today. I'm not going to go through them in as much detail as we usually do, but we're going to see, you know, some highlights and some goals from these games. I'm sure we can get through, and there's a chance we could finish in that top 8 and get through to the knockout round and the round of 16. But, you know, as long as we stay in the competition, I'd be happy with that. Just need to make sure we stay inside that top 24. But we're looking good so far. If you're enjoying the series, as always, drop a like, leave comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. We're slowly on that road to 1,200 subscribers. We're edging ever so close. Check out the second channel down below as well. So, of course, last episode we won the Allsvenskan, the Swedish league. We drew at home against Elfsborg, and they got a great 3-0 win away from home against Nordic. But the real news was the fact that Malmo failed to win their final two games. They lost 1-0 at home to Kalmar with a 93rd minute goal, and Malmo went down to 9 men, and then were held 0-0 at home against Hammarby. And that did mean that we won the Allsvenskan, the Swedish league, by a single point. 70 points we finished on, 69 for Malmo. But literally days after that, we were back in competitive football. Europa Conference League is well underway, and we've got 3 games to go of our league phase. As I mentioned, we have already taken on Skandia of North Macedonia, and we won this one pretty handily. Took the lead in 13 minutes, Olivieri with the goal. But then in the second half, Olivieri, with this challenge, picked up a second booking and got sent off, and we went down to 10 men. We still managed to get another goal there. Berg scoring in the 73rd minute to extend our lead. The North Macedonians did get a goal back after 81 minutes. Nafiu with the square ball finds Duriev. The keeper can't keep it out, and they get a goal back. But we scored a third goal after 88 minutes. Carlin with the ball over the top, and the keeper comes out nowhere near it. Abdullahi gets the goal. And then deep into stoppage time in the 96th minute, Abdullahi scored again to score a fourth for IFK Goteborg. A 4-1 win in North Macedonia. Good performance there, even with 10 men. So after 3 games out of 6, we were maximum points. 9 points, 10 goals scored, only 2 conceded. We're in a really, really good place. Frankfurt also maximum points so far. We face them first in Germany. Going to be an extremely tough match, but we'll see how it goes. It is also quite a sad affair, this Frankfurt game, because this is going to be Marcus Berg's last match. The 38-year-old announced last season he was going to be retiring at the end of this season, and his retirement takes place on the 10th of December, 2 days after our next fixture against Rijeka. So this game against Eintracht Frankfurt will be Marcus Berg's last game before he retires from football, which is a shame because he's been a phenomenal player for us. That first season he got 30 goals, 23 in the league, and then this season playing alongside the likes of Olivieri and Kulikov. 19 goals in all competitions, 9 in the league, 8 in Europe. He's been a phenomenal servant for us for 2 seasons. Very, very good player. But at 38 years old, he is retiring from football. The Swedish striker with 90 caps for Sweden as well. So it's a sad day. I feel like we're going to be in a good position without him, but it might be that we go to a single striker formation next season if we're going to remove Berg. We don't really have a deep line forward, so I might be going to a 4-2-3-1 for the new season. That's not completely decided yet, but it's possible we could try and sign a central attacker midfielder and go to a 4-2-3-1 next season, or maybe even a shadow striker behind Olivieri or Kulikov. Yeah, just with no Berg, unless we can find the player that fits, you know, that DLF support role, we might go to a 4-2-3-1. But this is going to be a very tough game against Eintracht Frankfurt, Europa League winners in 2022. With the likes of Kevin Trapp and Jibril Sow in the side. In team news, Metu is suspended, as is Olivieri, after, of course, picking up a red card in Macedonia. So Karlen and Kulikov will replace them. Peñalosa and Ondrejka will come back in. They missed out on the previous game. Now, I was a bit conscious of that Skandia game after the league win, that the players might have been partying a bit too hard, like might have used the Macedonia trip for a bit of a party, who really knows. But this is going to be a very tough game against Eintracht Frankfurt. We've got a huge upset against Lazio in qualifying, knocking them out. Frankfurt are a step above Lazio. Lazio were one of the highest ranked sides left in the Europa Conference League. Frankfurt are up there as well. Villarreal and Frankfurt and Lazio were the sort of top 3 sides in terms of coefficient. So, yeah, going to be a very, very tough game here in Germany. I'm not expecting a result here. I'm expecting a defeat, but we'll see how things go. I mean, early stages here. Frankfurt are passing the ball around. Here's Sal. Eggestein looking over the top to find Foti. Oh, Pontus Dahlberg's not done well there. Foti gets the first goal. We're barely 2 minutes into the game and Frankfurt have their 1-0 lead. Eggestein with the ball over the top. Dahlberg with one of the most feeble attempts to come out that I've ever seen. Didn't get anywhere near the ball. Left the goal wide open. That's not the start we wanted. But we do have a throw-in a decent position here. We're only 7 minutes into the game. And Marcus Berg is through. And he's past the goalkeeper and surely gets his goal. It's a 20th for the season. And in his last game, he's on the score sheet. That's good. Great to see. 2 goals in the opening 7 and a bit minutes. And Marcus Berg, on his last game, gets his goal. I'm just going to make a couple of tactical changes. I'm just going to drop engagement and just go for a slightly lower block today. Just because, you know, we're big underdogs here. It's going to be a difficult game. That's the only thing I'm going to do, though. Sal to Kamada. Ball out wide for Max and Eggestein. Sal. And the strike goes over. Lots of white shirts around the area. They're throwing bodies forward, Frankfurt. Carlen to Elias Hagen, one of the big performers this season with his 8 goals. But he's given the ball up there in his own half. That's not good. And Harriet goes for goal. And again, it's not on target. I'm just going to play slightly more cautious. We're not winning the possession game today. Our passing's good. But, you know, as expected, Eintracht Frankfurt are controlling the game. So we're just going to try and hit them on that break if we can. Here's Heinz. Sal can go from range again and he hits the post. And Dahlberg clears it forward again. We're holding on at the moment, but you've got to think it's a matter of time before Frankfurt get another goal. We've scored with our only effort at goal so far. So our chances are going to be very limited. I mean, so far we're holding on. We're not playing especially well. I'm going to go for a no pressure shout. Frankfurt have a chance here from the set piece, but it's headed away by Nissen. Here's Eggestein, and well, he had a clear-sighted goal then. I don't know why he decided to try and bend it. I don't really know why he did that. I went for a no pressure shout because I feel like that might work. We are underdogs for this game, and I'm not overly worried if we end up losing this. We've got 9 points out of 9 so far. Here's Harriet, and again, they're failing at the target at the moment, Eintracht, which is good for us because we're not really creating much at the moment. Coming up on the hour, throw in here with Olsen. Here's Berg. Peñalosa. You could have a go for me, you know. We could have a go. Oh, it's a poor effort, though. A very poor effort. Well, that wasn't great defending at all. Philip Max is giving Eintracht Frankfurt the lead back from that throw. I don't really know what was going to happen there. I wasn't even talking over it. But from the throw, it was just a bizarre goal. Simican with a throw-in. Harriet heads it back onto Max. The defending's not there, and Max fires them in front. I'm going to make some changes because we've got some really poor performers out there. Carlen's not doing especially well at all. I'm going to move Tronson up into midfield. I'm going to bring on Parkinate. Peñalosa's had a bad game today. So we're going to move on Draka to the right. And we're going to bring on Emma Markovic. You know, we've only had 1 shot on target. Like, this is expected for this game. We're big underdogs. I'm going to take it off with cautious, though, because we seem to actually be having less possession on cautious. We're bringing on Abdullahi up front. I'm not going to take off Berg. You know, we actually got a goal. It'd be nice if we could maybe get him another one. I'm going to bring on David Seguer as well. I might as well make all my changes. Let's bring Bruckner on. We'll just make those changes. And let's try and go for a goal. Let's try and maybe get something late on here. Pontus Dahlberg has not done well today. Big mistake. And as you can see from the match momentum, Frankfurt dominated the game almost from whistle to whistle. And I think that was expected. They're one of the best sides left in this competition. So I don't think we can be too disappointed with that. We probably could have played a bit better. But yeah, I think you know, only losing 2-1 isn't really that bad. Defensively, we were a bit all over the place. But that could have been so much worse. After 4 games, we're still in 3rd place with 9 points. There are 6 teams there on 9 points. And I feel like, you know, we can get more results in our next 2 games. Rijeka have got 2 wins out of 4. And they're in 20th at the moment. They're in those playoff places. And the other side, Maccabi Tel Aviv, have only picked up 1 win so far. That being against Scandinavia. They lost at home to Rijeka and at home to Malmo. And they lost 4-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. I feel like we beat Tel Aviv at home. Rijeka's going to be tough, but I feel like we've got enough about us to get in this top 8. And if we don't I'd be happy with finishing anywhere here. If we finish in like the top half of this bit, I'd be happy with that. I'd be very happy with that. Now that the 30th of November has hit, players at the end of their contracts have left. Wilfred Cannon, the Ivorian defender that we got last season, has left the club. He didn't get a great deal of games for us, and he didn't play especially well. He only played 8 games this season, only started 5 in the league. That does mean that Marcus Berg is now officially free agent, but he's going to be retiring in a couple of weeks anyway, but he's officially left the club as well. Now that also means that we've just lost Metu, Ondrejka and Bruckner as our loanies have gone back to their clubs. That's a bit of an issue. That's the problem with this league format. You know, the league ends in November and the contracts end in November as well. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Okay, on to the home game against Rijeka. Now, Parkonitis just suffered a concussion, so he's going to be out for 2 weeks. We've got those players that were on loan that have gone back to their clubs. That's Metu, Ondrejka, and the right back, Bruckner. That's not good. The only upside to the loan period's ending is we have a couple of players that have come back who might be able to offer something. For example, Melvin Berg, a 20-year-old Swedish man, actually might be able to offer something out wide. He's got speed. He's not great technically, but he might be able to offer something. I think we pull the trigger on the 4-2-3-1. So Kane will play in that attacking mid spot behind Kulikov. So it's a bit of a makeshift bench, but hopefully we'll get through this game. We're at home against the Croats. As I mentioned before, Rijeka, a bit of a nemesis for us. Back on the Stour save a couple of years ago, they knocked us out of Europe twice in the same season, so they're not one of my favourite teams in the world. But hopefully we'll get the result against them today. Although first half an hour, we haven't been on the ball very much. And Rijeka have the ball here with Leiber, and here's Danilo, and they've got a chance to maybe get a goal here, and oh, they almost did. Dahlberg makes the save, but first chance of the game goes the way of the Croats, and we've not offered too much going forward today. Our passing's been very poor, our possession's been poor anyway. Carlin is kind of having to play every game now because we have no Metu, and Bayern aren't interested in reloaning him, not to us at least. Oliveira looks to lob Labrovic and fails. 77 minutes, it's 0-0. We've had a few shots on target, but hasn't been the best of performances all games, and Rijeka have sneaks a goal with just about 10 minutes to go, but it's not going to count. Pina was offside, and there might have been a bit of impediment on the goalkeeper there, but this isn't going very well. And at full time, it's ended 0-0. We defended well today. Rijeka didn't really have too much. No, didn't have a shot on target. They had a big chance sort of midway through the first half. We played all right. We just couldn't find that goal. We got a few chances here and there, a few opportunities. But I think missing the players that we were, and with the system change, I don't think we could be too disappointed with that. It wasn't great, but it could have been worse. At least we didn't lose. Unfortunately, that does mean that we fall out of the top 8 as a number of teams leapfrog us. Braga, Villarreal, PAOK, Midtjylland, Lille, Leicester, all overtaking us. We're on 10 points. With a game to go, we officially can't finish outside the top 24, so we have qualified for the playoff knockout round at the very least. But we'll have to do something in the last game against Tel Aviv if we're going to get back in that top 8. Okay, final game against Maccabi Tel Aviv. I feel like we should win this one, and we kind of need to win this one to see if we can get back into that top 8. I'm happy with where we finish. We'll be in the top 24. That's fine. But I feel like we can and should win this game. I feel like our players might kind of be on the beach already after their title win, so I'm not going to begrudge them for not being at their best in this, stretch of games. But hopefully we'll get a result here. And the ball's given away to Guerrero, and the Israelis coming forward now. Jovanovic loses the ball. Hausner to Nissen. Here's Olsen. Peñalosa. Possible chance here. 2 minutes into the game. Here's Abdullahi. He's got the nod today to start ahead of Olivieri. And he might have set up Hagen. He does. The change pays off, and Elias Hagen gets his 9th goal of the season from midfield. That's been a very good year for him. He's been impressive this year, Elias Hagen. And I think he's going to be possibly a player to build this team around in the new season, because he has been one of the key players in this team. He's amongst the goals. He's been very, very good. So maybe a player that's going to be around for a lot longer. I think he's been very good. As it stands, we are in 6th place, so we will be through to the round of 16. It's gone out wide. Peretz is going after it. Here is Cohen. Goes for goal. That is a rocket. Bar Cohen with the thunderbolt to equalise for Maccabi Tel Aviv. That was travelling at some speed. It's a bit of a strange free kick. It went out wide to Peretz, but he pulled it back in. And look at that for a strike with the outside of the boot as well and off the post. That was a really impressive strike. One of the best I've seen this season, definitely. And it is Tel Aviv on the ball with near Bitton. It's Peretz who set up the equalising goal. And Guerrero now with a chance. And they hit the post. Tel Aviv have been very unlucky in this game. And it's half time. It's 1-1. Let's see if we can get through this game though. We haven't done very well. That's a good through ball though. Over the top. Abdullahi has put the ball in. And we're back in front. Ball over the top, finds Abdullahi, and he calmly slotted that past the goalkeeper. That was a good goal. And, yeah, we're back in front. That's good. Look at this. It was it Frederick Nissen over the top? No, it was Elias Hagen. See, assist. He gets goals and assists. Abdullahi takes it past the goalkeeper and slides it in from a good angle as well. Peñalosa on the ball here. Here's Ajanovic. Could this be his first goal for the club? Oh, it's on target. Peretz makes a save. And a chance for Ajanovic to put his name on the score sheet there. Villarreal will be winning 9-1, did that just say? I'm sure that's what that just said. Injury time, it's 2-1. Hopefully we can hold on for the next few minutes to get this 3 points. And that might confirm top 8 for us. But we'll have to wait and see. Here's Mizrahi. Oh, and it's Guerrero. And we need to get rid of it. And we haven't. And it's Elon Almog. And Tel Aviv in the 90th minute have gone level again. There's some big score lines. Leicester are also 5-1 up. I saw a 6-1 as well. Looks like we're going to drop points here and only get the 1 point, which isn't great. I think that's going to put us a bit further down. I don't know if they're seeding in the playoff knockout round or not, but we haven't dealt with that. And they got the equaliser again. And it's going to be 2-2, unless there's something very late on here. And there's not. It ends 2 goals apiece, so we've got to settle for just a point there. But again, we haven't been at our best in these last few games, but I think they deserve a rest. They won the league this season, so I think they deserve their rest. Right, where does that put us? That puts us in 14th place. That's good. I'm happy with 14th. You know, we are near the top of that bracket for the knockout round. I don't know if there's seeds in there or not, but we've done well there. 11 points from 6 games. Yeah, Villarreal won 9-1 against Suduva, who are from Lithuania. How many goals did that player get? Nicholas Jackson scored 7 goals in that game. He got 5 goals in a period of 17 minutes in the second half. I don't know if I've ever seen a player get 7 goals in a competitive match. I don't think I've ever seen 6. 7 goals is just ridiculous. The knockout playoff draw is not until the start of February, so we've got about 6 weeks or so before we have that. So we've got a long break now. We've got the Cup in February. We've got the groups of the Cup against Bromma, Helsingborg and Tabi. So we've got a good sort of couple of months before competitive fixtures once again. So that's got plenty of time for us to delve into the transfer window with our £5.4 million transfer budget and our extra £20,000 a week wage budget. That might give us enough to get our scouting budget up to world scouting, and then we can start scouting South America and looking for youngsters over there as well, because we're scouting Europe as well. You can see my recruitment focus is here on the side. We're looking for teenagers all over Europe, like Spain and Portugal, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, like Germany and places like that. And we'll come back for the Europa Conference League knockouts because the league doesn't start until like March. So 13th of Feb we'll have the Conference League knockout playoff round. These rounds are a mouthful, you know. We've just had the Conference League phase, and now we've got the Conference League knockout playoff round. I can't even say it right. But for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. And yes, next time we're going to jump ahead a couple of months. We'll probably have some more transfers by then, some new players. We might have sold some players as well. But we're going to delve into the transfer window. We've got money to spend. We've got £5 million. We might get more as well. So I'm excited to see what we can do with that money. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. This is technically the end of Season 2. But the way the European stuff works, I think we're going to stop calling them seasons and maybe start going back to numbers. But we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.